Dr. Chia.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'd like to declare my interest as a doctor who looks into work injury cases. I stand in support of this bill, which will first provide for affected employees to receive compensation for work injuries more expeditiously. Second, ensure that insurance policies meet minimum standards. And third, employers maintain full insurance coverage for their liabilities. First, I welcome the amendment to commence claims processing upon the ministry's or the insurer's notification of fatal or serious injuries, thus removing the requirement for employees or their dependents to file compensation claim applications. This is an improvement from our current system, reducing time spent on paperwork by all parties, particularly the victims and their families, during a very stressful and difficult time. I would like to seek clarification on instances where claims assessments on injuries are delayed because employers are slow in paying for or guaranteeing the necessary medical examinations. Presently, they or insurance companies pay for clinic visits or hospital stays, but not necessarily for outpatient tests such as scans. Would the Minister elaborate on any changes or improvements, if any, for such cases that's provided for in this bill? Next, I have a question regarding the proposal to compensate employees placed on light duties due to work injuries. Where such light duties pay less going forward, employers will need to compensate them up to their average monthly earnings, or AME. The intention of the ministry is that these workers should not be worse off than those who are given medical leave. Currently, injured employees on medical leave are compensated with their AME. Under this bill, compensation will be equal for both, but I would like to ask if there are definitions of what injuries can be addressed with light duties versus medical leave. In addition, I would like to seek clarification on surveillance on reporting by employers. There may still be employers who do not report smaller injuries. What measures are in place to minimize this problem? Employees are required under the WICA to inform their employers of any incidents as soon as possible. Is there a way whereby the employee reporting process informs both the employers and MOM simultaneously, possibly through a one-step reporting process at the health professional's office for greater efficiency? Such a system will also ensure that employers do not have the opportunity to underreport. Finally, I would like to make a brief comparison with a few other developed nations for a sense of how we are aligned. I noticed that a key difference is that a number of these countries offer the options of pensions for workers who suffer permanent disabilities. Here in Singapore, workers can only claim a lump sum. Fixed amounts offer certainty for employers and insurers, but may impose greater hardship on employers as we live longer. And the disbursement of such a large sum of money all at once has the risk that it may all be spent too quickly or unwisely. For example, in the Federal Republic of Germany, under the statutory occupational accident insurance, such workers receive a pension until the age of 65, unless he or she begins receiving old age pensions earlier than that age. They can also opt for the pension to be paid out as a lump sum. Furthermore, in the event of death, any children they have who are under 18 years of age would also receive an orphan's pension. Similarly, in Western Australia, in addition to a lump sum payment capped at Australian dollars 232,000, there is a provision for periodic child's allowance for dependent children. In the United Kingdom, on top of compensation from the compulsory employer's liability insurance bought by the companies, affected employees can receive between £35 and £179 weekly under industrial injuries disablement benefit schemes, depending on the level of disablement. In the USA, there is no federal oversight nor a minimum standard. Every state has its own workers' compensation system, and they vary widely. Some cap benefits for permanently disabled workers at 450 weeks, while others allow benefits for life or until the worker reaches the age for Social Security benefits. And finally, in Japan, a worker may receive his disability pension benefit either as a lump sum or as a pension. Hence, I would like to suggest that for workers who suffer permanent disabilities, the Ministry considers some form of pension arrangement as an option, as well as regular financial support, perhaps for their children up to the age of 18. Thank you, and I support the bill.